do. Whoa. Whoa. Brr. Brr. Almost need a stocking cap out here today. It's so cold. Thank you for the roses, everlasting bloom. Your bloom is everlasting. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Georgia fan. I missed somebody. Hello, Kennergy. Hello, Walter. Good morning, Julie Flanagan, Jamia Hampton, Johnny V, Jasmine James. Not original is the least original person that watches. Hello, Jasmine James. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hello, Greg Plitt. LW5, do I look cold? Well, then it's appropriate. Oh, I love it, Julie Flanagan. Thank you for getting yourself a coffee with Ken mug. I hope it tastes extra delicious, your coffee today. Hello, RJ. Well, what a fun morning. What a fun morning. What a fun morning. What a fun... I'm telling you what, I wasn't thinking it was a very fun morning about, 2.5 hours ago. I woke up early. Today. I woke up at 3:50. Thought later in bed going, do I want to keep my social media accounts or should I just erase them all? Wipe out the whole history that is Coffee with Ken. And I laid there, was listening to the end of a... kind of meditative music that was going through my headset, and it came to an end, and another one popped on, and it was about God, and God telling you to chase your dreams and chase your passions and live your best life. And I thought it was a message. Oh, did I ever think it was a message? I certainly did. It told me to get up out of bed, go edit some videos, go live at 8 and have my best life. And I was so excited. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was so excited. I was ready to go. I got downstairs. I got about an hour of good editing in. I've already posted 4 videos. I think they're all good in their own way. Hello, Sandra Lynn. Hello, Rodney Baxter. But let me tell you, Augie woke up at about 5, so I got him. We had a nice time. We split a banana. We had some oranges. We had some Pop-Tart. I gave him his Baba. We watched some, thank you, RJ. We watched some Elmo. But around 5:30, 6 o'clock, hello, Rick. I started getting a little tired. Started running low on energy. And I'd already had about a half a pot of coffee at this time. Hello, Torin Evans. My most generous with the positive names. King Ken. I think that might be overstating it, but just a little bit. Hey, good morning to you. Thank you all for joining. We have a real nice crowd this morning. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking and sharing some feelings and sharing some ups and downs. It's sharing a cold morning here in Naperville. Good morning, Shrink Wrap. Hello, Tricia. I don't even know what the temperature is, but I think it's low 40s. And I'm wearing my PJs, and I'm wearing my Birkenstocks with socks, obviously. And I got a light coat, but I do have a Illinois sweatshirt, which I may have had yesterday, and kind of one of these plastic-ish shirts, which don't provide the most warmth. But anyway, like I said, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time, and it's a show about me talking and sharing some experiences. It's sharing some life, sharing some ups and downs that we all have. Hello, Sandy Shepard. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois, user, which is a town of about 145,000. It's actually 149,604, about 35 miles west of Chicago. And it's a beautiful town, and it's a beautiful time of year, and I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to have you all tune in. But for those that have been watching a while, it's really important on a cold day like today. Hello, Loot Snatcher from Western Pennsylvania. Hello, Ryan. RJ, you gotta relax. RJ's always so... I appreciate RJ. RJ's one of my best watchers. Met him a couple times. He provided me coffee. But he always is so excited to know what type of coffee I'm drinking. But that makes it kind of fun. I like to tease him a little bit. But anyway, for those who have been watching a while, you know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, and let me tell you, for a guy that's been up at 3:50 in the morning, this is not going to be my first cup, but for my intro, I like to say, I'm so excited to have my first cup of coffee. And my hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got your first cup of coffee as well, or you got a hot cup of coffee at least. It doesn't matter to me if it's your first. Although sharing a first cup, that first sip is better than any other sip that comes after it. But anyway, cheers to us. Oh. It's the pumpkin spice. Oh, it's the pumpkin spice. And I'll tell you, I was up early, made the first pot, didn't know what I was going to choose, shook the bags, and ended up grabbing the Morning Joe, which was a gift by RJ. And thank you, RJ. Frost some cinnamon on top. That sounds like a great idea. Hello, Regina. Thank you for following the creator. Thank you all. And Sandy Shepard, thank you for the heart. This is so fun. What was I saying? Oh, had a little bit left of a bag of Morning Joe, and I dumped the last grains into the pot this morning, and I made my pot, and again, it was like 4:15 at this time, and I was so excited about my day, and so enthused, and so ready, and so editing videos, and having so much fun. And when my son Augie woke up at about 5, I ran upstairs, got him. We were loving life. And then, again, about 2 hours after I was up, I was going, wouldn't it be nice? I almost went up and climbed up the stairs and tapped on my wife and said, would we please trade places? And I was laying there kind of feeling dragging and down and tired, and again, up too early. But then hunger hit, and I realized there was more coffee to be drank. Someday I'll learn. And I also, and this is especially one for you, Julie Flanagan, realized I had a box of pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts waiting for me on the top of the fridge. So I scurried into the fridge, filled up my coffee, grabbed a pack of pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts, scurried back out to the living room, opened them up, and Augie and I are both going like this. I don't know who was more excited, and but either way, we shared. And when I say shared, he maybe had a half of one Pop-Tart, and I had 1.5, and it was delicious. It was delicious. So let's have a little more coffee. I can't be with you too long today, but I've been trying to shorten my shows for a while. I think I was trying to lengthen them. You guys know I'm working on building my social media platforms, and I feel funny always talking about money because it's not about the money, but I'll just tell you, I like to share the inside of the what's going on. You get paid basically by the hour on YouTube, the hour of video watches. So the longer I do my videos and the more people that watch them, the more monetization that happens. And no, it's not a Kennathon. I can't do a Kennathon for you today. I cannot do it. I got to be in Elmhurst, Illinois at 10 o'clock. But anyway, so I was starting to do my videos a little longer. But then I realized, I was going live 3-4 times a day and doing longer videos and trying to edit, and I was spending all my life staring at my phone, and I don't want to spend all my life staring at my phone, and I don't feel you guys should spend all your life staring at your phone. And I think you're supposed to leave the audience wanting more, and I certainly feel better when I feel a little fresher pushing live, and I have a little more enthusiasm and a little more to say. So I'm trying to keep the videos 30 to 40 minutes in the morning and still hop on a couple times in the afternoon. But anyway, I have to do it today because, again, we have to be in Elmhurst at 10 o'clock this morning. Elmhurst is a beautiful town, neat downtown. I met with somebody, a viewer, yesterday, and it's always fun meeting with a viewer. We met at downtown Starbucks. For those that are regular watchers, I think I can say his name. I don't know why I can't. He might like if I say his name. He might be mad at me if I say his name. Either way, I'm going to say it. It's the Finnegans. Their TikTok name is the Finnegans. That's not his name. His name is Brian. But I met him in downtown Naperville yesterday. We met at Starbucks. He'd never been to a Starbucks. I've had a couple people do that. I don't even understand what they're talking about. But he'd never been. He walked to the, and he likes coffee. He's a really interesting, cool guy that had some great insight for me as well. But I'll get to that maybe in a bit. He didn't know what to order. And he went to the barista and kind of described he wants something not too caffeinated, a little chocolatey, a little caramely, and a little this and that. And she made him the drink that best matched his needs. Brian Finnegan, RJ, he actually wanted to get together with you and I in the future. But anyway, and I got my standard tall coffee with cream. Heather Odell's never been to a Starbucks. That is so weird to me. For a guy that goes to Starbucks, I'd say at least 4 times a week. And when I'm there, I'm not just popping in, grabbing a cup of coffee. Hello, Blanco Banks. Hello, Len Cloth. Not originals, not a fan of Starbucks. And I get that everyone has different preferences in terms of tastes and coffee tolerance and what have you. But I don't understand really not liking the inside of Starbucks. I mean, whatever. It's okay if you don't. But for me, and again, I don't go to bars really anymore. I don't drink alcohol. For me, Starbucks is a great place, a happy place with people coming and going and free refills on coffee and big ice waters and pretty friendly employees and free Wi-Fi and usually soft chairs. So for me, even when I was a realtor, before I was full-time, Bada Bing's never been to one. Oh, they do have good little snacks. Is it a great place to work? That's interesting, Blanco. I was actually, part of me has always thought maybe I should work at a Starbucks just to experience it. But that's just part of me. But, anyway, so we met, we talked for a while, and had a good time, and it's always neat meeting a viewer. I asked him, hey, but it's also kind of a little bit nervous for me because I feel the viewers know me. And they know at least what I look like. And I walked into the Starbucks. It's a big one right in downtown. And I get a text from him. And he goes, here. And I'm looking around. I go, well, I'm standing in the middle of this Starbucks. He obviously knows what I look like because he watches a ton of my videos. I have no idea what he looks like. I'm looking around expecting somebody to come up. I go, well, I'm standing here. Where are you? And I got on TikTok and flipped through his profile, clicked on his picture and go, oh, he's a guy with a real long beard or big beard. And I'm looking around and I look at all the customers and nobody in there looks anything like his picture. So I start typing, hey, nobody here with a beard. And at that point, a guy with a beard walks in and again, we had a nice talk. We talked for about 2 hours, somewhere about it. I go, hey, am I what you expected? And he goes, oh, well, way taller. But other than that, I think I was exactly what he expected, which is comforting to me to know. I mean, again, this is just me. I'm sitting here drinking coffee with you. And I was sitting there drinking live coffee with him. But he says, yeah, much taller. And it was funny. He lives in a nearby town. I won't say it because it's not that important. But there was a few guys that were taller than me. I'm 6'2", which isn't like crazy tall, but it is taller than probably, I wonder what percentile I'm in terms of just men. I bet I'm in the 95th percentile. Certainly the top 10%, if not the top 5%. which Greg is really tall. Okay. Um, and I've done videos about it, and I don't want to have to. Uh, all right, I'm just gonna say I think 6'2". I'll say it, and it sounds vain, but I just think I'm being real. I think 6'2" is the genetically perfect height. I think God said, I'm going to make the perfect, and I'm not saying I'm the perfect man, but I will say I think I'm the perfect height. And I've done videos about it, and I think we're 6'2". You're tall enough to play any sport. You're not crazy tall where you can't sit on an airplane seat or even in the back seat of a car, and you're certainly not bumping your head on the top of any doors. After I did this video, I was kind of curious. So I Googled, what's the average height of a Major League Baseball player? Do you know what the average height of the Major League Baseball player is? It's 6'2". And I go, wow, what a coincidence. I'm going to do a little more research. What's the average height of the average NFL player? You know what the average height of the average NFL player? Google it yourself. It is 6'2". And that reaffirmed to me that 6'2" is the genetically perfect height. Because again, tall enough to play any sport. But yeah, Greg said 6'6" is somewhat challenging. And I bet it would be. I mean, it's probably cool. It's always good to look up, to be looked up to. But anyway, my point was, my sons have tall people problems. Well, okay, I don't know how tall your son is, but yeah, if you're, I got a buddy, I grew up with that was like 6'9", and all right, Sanderlin, so my buddy was 6'9", and it was probably cool, and you're probably, but having everybody come up and ask him, hey, do you play basketball? Probably got a little tiresome for him, and yeah, he couldn't sit on a coach seat. Not that I like sitting on coach. Greg says he wears size 16 shoe. Yeah, and big and tall clothes and stuff. And, I can shop at normal clothes. What's the ideal height for a woman? I would, and again, I've never been a woman, so I don't know. My guess is probably 5'6". My guess is probably 5'6". I don't know what women look for in height. I know what men look for in women's height, or at least what this man does. And, I don't think I discriminate short or tall or what have you. I don't think I'd pick a woman based on that, really. But I think 5'6" would be a good height. Again, I think you'd probably be solid, taller than average, tall enough to play any sport, although I don't know if that's a priority or not. My daughter's 5'10". We breed all humans. I would say, and I know there's so many other things to being a woman than finding a man. And men, I'm not trying to be weird at all, but I think if you'd be real tall as a girl, I think it would be challenging to find an appropriate guy. What do I pick a woman based on? I don't know. I think for me, a woman has her eyes. If I had to pick one thing, it'd be her eyes. And if I had to pick two things, the second thing would be it's hard to describe. I can't put my finger on it and say it's one thing, like it's her hair color or her body type particularly, but it's a inner thing, and it's a sense I get, and yeah, it's just a feeling I get, I'd say. And when I met my wife, I was going, wow. And I got the sense, and I said, wow, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I want this girl. I kind of believe in love at first sight. Dorcas My Yorkus followed the live creator. Am I married? Well, kind of. I'll just leave it at that. Let's just go with kind of. I'm wearing a ring, aren't I? 6:22. I don't know if I'm going to go inside because, or call this Coffee with Ken quits because of, because I'm cold. or because I have to be in Elmhurst at 10 o'clock. But either way, I was talking about height. I was talking about height. So I'm sitting there with Brian Finnegan at Starbucks yesterday, and there were taller people than me. There were several tall people in, and he's going, "Wow, wow, wow." I don't know how tall he was. He might have been 5'8" or 10 or something like that. I'd say normalish height. But there was taller people than me, and we were joking that, oh, well, Naperville's a super tall town. We laugh at your town because we're way taller than you. I'll get back to the car question. I was in a fraternity in college, and and maybe that's typical, or maybe there were a lot of basketball players in my house, or whatever, but it was a pretty tall house. So there were guys shorter than me for sure, but there were a lot of guys taller than me. There were a lot of guys taller than me. So it's a pretty tall fraternity. Let me see, what's my favorite car? I'd say an Audi A6, almost without hesitation, although I did hesitate. I think it's sporty. I think it's classy. I think it's slightly understated because it's not a Mercedes. I know it's European. I know it's German. And I think the brand that is Audi is a really neat brand to me. Again, a little more understated than a Mercedes or a BMW. It's a sedan. It's elegant but not flashy, and it's sporty but not crazy over the top. So I think the Audi A6 is my favorite car. What do I think of the North Shore suburbs? Well, they're beautiful. They're hard to get to. They're hard to get to. They're amazingly beautiful, and I'm a big fan of bodies of water, and I lived in Chicago for a number years, and lived right along Lake Michigan. And I think the North Shore suburbs are ridiculously beautiful. They have benefits of being suburbs, like I'm in Naperville, which is a western suburb, which is straight away from the lake, to be honest. Not to be honest, you guys might know that. But the North Shore suburbs have the benefits of suburbia and the bigger houses and the less congestion. And but they also have access to the lake. I think they're beautiful. I don't think I'd ever live there. I never have. A lot of them are very, very expensive. Not that some of the western suburbs, Naperville's fairly pricey, and Hinsdale's super expensive, and Elmhurst, where I'm going today, is pretty darn expensive as well. But I would say the north suburbs. A lot of the movies you guys are familiar with, those that aren't from Chicago, were filmed in the north suburbs, like Glencoe and Kenilworth and those places. Home Alone, Breakfast Club. A lot of the John Hughes movies were filmed in the western or the northern suburbs. Great movies, and Pretty in Pink and all those. And I've brought this up before. I have brought this up before. And weirdly, this movie, I think it's hard to find. But there is a movie from that era that was filmed, I think, in '86 that is an awesome movie that was filmed in Glen Ellen. And it's called Lucas. And it's kind of a movie about a kind of a little awkward kid that loves bugs. And it's a great movie. Strongly recommended. It's filmed in the western suburbs of Chicago, in a pretty darn expensive suburb of Chicago named Glen Ellen, which is one of the prettiest suburbs in the world. Somebody asked, what's my favorite suburb? Not Original was an extra in Lucas. Great movie. I believe you. I don't know where you're from, Not Original, but I believe you. Great movie, I think. And I think it was like Charlie Sheen, one of Charlie Sheen's earliest movies. And really good movie. And if anyone's out there looking for a movie, but it's hard to find it. If you search it on Netflix and Amazon Prime, I think they act like, Corey Haim's the star, a young Corey Haim. who recently passed, I believe. And cute movie, right downtown, Glenbard West. Most beautiful high school I've ever seen. Their football stadium, which has the track around it where I used to run a lot as a kid, is right along Lake Ellen. I've done some videos there, and just a beautiful, beautiful town. And again, great movie for anyone looking for one. I'd highly recommend Lucas. So I'm going to pour a little more coffee because I'm cold. My nose is running. But yeah, I don't know what the best northern suburb is. I was talking to my wife. Has anyone been to Ravinia ever before? I've been there a few different times. My wife's never, but I think she'd really enjoy it. It's an awesome place to go with friends or a date, a romantic. It's a huge park. I don't know if it might be in Highland Park. You guys can check where Ravinia is if anybody cares. But you spread out a blanket, you bring wine and cheese and crackers and little snacks and listen to a strange variety of music. You could go and see an orchestra. And when I say see, there's a pavilion and seats, but I've never sat in the seats that look down on the musicians. I've always sat on the lawn. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic. I've always sat on the lawn and spread a blanket and just listened to. I saw Peter, Paul, and Mary saw. What else did I see? I don't know. A few different bands, but really neat place in the northern suburbs. I think it might be Highland Park. Yeah, a lot of traffic. You got to leave early, but it's worth it, and it's a neat experience for anybody in the suburbs of Chicago. Good morning, Yvonne. I wonder if it's Yvonne or Yvonne. I'll call you Yvonne. But on the farm in North Carolina, for a while, I was getting a lot of North Carolinian viewers every day. And that was fun. And again, I think North Carolina is probably a really neat state. And if I didn't live in Illinois and didn't move to Wisconsin, I'd certainly put North Carolina on the short list of states I'd like to move to. I don't need to go through why, but it's got hills, it's got trees, and it's got seasons, which is enough for me. It's also got great golf and beaches. If not that I'm into hanging out at beaches. I haven't done much golfing this year, but I used to. Oh. But anyway, again, it's about 8:30. I need to shower. I need to eat some breakfast. I need to drive my car. Is it only $300 for St. Andrews, Greg? I bet it's more expensive than that these days. I don't know. I was there once in 1986 as a young man. I don't know. Is an 18-year-old a kid or is he a young man? And I went there with my grandpa and my cousin and my two older brothers, and we ran all over the course and all over the clubhouse and all over the town, and it was so awesome. Negra is from North Carolina too. Well, welcome from North Carolina. I so appreciate you guys joining today. And for anybody that doesn't follow my page, please do. Please do. I have a lot of fun here. I go live at 8 o'clock every morning, drinking some coffee and, I don't know, talking with you guys. And I also try and go live most afternoons at about 4:30 as well, and I'll pop on occasionally during the day as well. But I have a lot of fun. I post a lot of different videos, from educational to inspirational to motivational to downright stupid or funny. And again, I run the gamut, but I do enjoy doing this a lot. I was a realtor for 17 years, and then I was working at Super Target for 7 months. Western North Carolina. We got a lot of North Carolinians. I'm huge in North Carolina. I'm spreading like a wildfire throughout North Carolina. I was going to say with my luck, which is a funny expression, because I think I was born very blessed. Again, I'm 6'2". We know about that. But I think I've been blessed a lot in life. I've always had good friends. I've always done, I've had my struggles, and a lot of the show's about my struggles, but I've been blessed in a lot of ways. And I was going to say, with my luck, there's some crazy drought in North Carolina right now, and there's fires burning all over. And I was saying, I'm spreading like wildfire through North Carolina. But it's just an expression. It's just an expression. It's really chilly. It is really chilly. I'm looking at my watch like it's going to tell me the temperature. My watch doesn't tell me the temperature, but my skin does and my feet do, and there's a little breeze coming, and I'm not in the sun, and it's probably like 43 degrees out. And I've had a lot of fun with you this morning, and I so appreciate you guys joining. And again, if anybody here is new, please follow my page. I put a lot of work into creating videos and going live and posting videos, and I think I have a lot of fun with it, and I hope the audience does as well. I so appreciate you guys for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful week in the past week. I hope you had a great night's sleep last night. Thank you so much, Julie Flanagan. Cheers to you and your Coffee with Ken mug, by the way. And again, I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you're feeling good. You're excited about the day. It looks like a gorgeous day. We've got blue skies and a little breeze coming through. So just a beautiful, beautiful early October day. And I'm looking forward to making the most of it. I hope you are as well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.